This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news. It's Monday, September 29th, 2025, and here are today's stories. Digital payments promise convenience, like paying bills and sending money. But in India, that leap has also unleashed a cyber scam epidemic, now stealing billions from everyday people. Shoppers are feeling it at the checkout as discount stores across the U.S. pass rising costs onto customers. Items that once felt like bargains are suddenly more expensive, leaving families to stretch every dollar. Cleanup after Hurricane Helene is still ongoing a year later. Communities are debating what debris to remove and what might be better left untouched. A small vegan restaurant in Fuerteventura is turning earthworms and living soil into seasonal farm-to-table dishes. It's a creative approach that connects food directly to the land. At an eco-village in Ireland, sustainable living comes to life with practical solutions for communities. Residents are showing how people can thrive while treading lightly on the planet. And pet owners are facing tough choices as surrender rates rise. Understanding the challenges behind these decisions can help keep more tails wagging. In 2015, India kicked off a massive digital push with the promise of making life easier. Pay your bills online, send money instantly, and even buy a mango from a street cart with just your phone. And it worked. In less than a decade, the country went from cash heavy to leading the world in digital transactions. But that same leap opened another door, a cyber scam epidemic that's now stealing billions from everyday people. According to India's Ministry of Home Affairs, cyber criminals stole a staggering 228 billion rupees, which is about $2.74 billion, in 2024 alone, a 206% increase from the year before. Behind the headlines and shocking numbers are heartbreaking personal stories.
Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay is a senior journalist and author based in Delhi. On 12th July this year, he called back a number after receiving a recorded message warning that his mobile would be disconnected. He walked right into a cyber trap called a digital arrest, a troubling scam where fraudsters put victims under an illegal digital custody, citing false accusations and extort money. Mukhopadhyay was kept under an illegal digital custody for 28 hours.
In the night also, I was told to sleep in the study where my computer was there, and I had to sleep in the gaze of the camera by turning the camera on the couch where I was sleeping. So it was a very traumatic experience.
Digital arrest scams have become one of the most shocking forms of cybercrime in India. In these schemes, scammers pose as police or government officials, accuse victims of crimes, and use fake documents or staged video calls to make the threats feel real. Victims are harassed, manipulated, and often pressured into handing over their entire savings just to prove their innocence. The consequences can be devastating. Just last month, a utility worker took his own life after losing 1.1 million rupees, about $13,200, to one of these fraudsters.
Cybercrime is not just stealing money from victims, but they're also forcing victims these days to take out loans which they cannot afford. All this is facilitated obviously by technology. You have great banking apps which are giving you instant loans, and cyber criminals are taking advantage of you because they know what you have. They're making you open your apps. They're making you take a loan.
India's leap into the digital world has been impressive, but it also opened the door to cybercrime. The 2015 Digital India Initiative and India Stack, which power services like India's National Biometric Identity System and their digital payment system, brought millions online almost overnight, from cities to remote villages. Many first-time users weren't ready for the risks, and scammers quickly filled the gaps. Combine that with a strong cultural trust in government and slow-moving cybercrime laws, and fraudsters found a perfect opportunity. With billions of rupees flowing through digital systems every day, the financial incentives for scammers are enormous. Stopping this epidemic isn't just about technology. It's about what people can do to protect themselves. Learning to spot scams, questioning suspicious messages, and using tools like two-factor authentication can make a big difference. Community sharing tips and experiences can help everyone stay one step ahead. And most importantly, victims speaking out breaks the silence and shame, helping others avoid falling into the same traps.
Prices at discount retailers are climbing across the United States. Once known for steady low prices, these stores are now passing rising costs onto customers. UNN Field Messenger Amy reports from her area.
Hi, Amy reporting for UNN from New Jersey. Today I was making a fruit salad and realized I needed something to put the toothpicks in that people would use to eat the fruit. I visited my local dollar store to find that prices had gone up again. Seemed like overnight my local Dollar Tree store had raised prices. By the mid-1990s, Dollar Tree opened and all items were $1. These circles with the $1 can be found on all the stores I went to. Probably should have been removed in 2022 when the prices were officially raised from $1 to $1.25. In 2019, they added the $3 and $5 items. Today I found that the floral department prices increased from $1.25 to $1.75, and the catering department, which includes plastic utensils, serving trays, like special wine glasses, was now up to $2. What's strange about this is that the regular metal kitchen utensils are still at $1.25. The floral department includes the glass vase and stones that I used for my toothpicks today. The $1.75 shocked me to make this report. The manager said this price increase is due to the tariffs. I visited a different Dollar Tree to find them putting red dot stickers over all the existing $1.25 prices. I was told the actual price of the items could be found on the shelf the items were on. Many, many, many things were now $1.50, and I was told they were covering all the existing products with red dots because in the near future they're going to be going even higher. This made me think about other stores who are named by price, such as Five Below. So I went to a Five Below store to find that in 2022 their prices increased as well, from everything being a maximum of $5 to adding a new slogan, $5 below and beyond section. I saw items as high as $30. If you thought prices went higher the last few years, the red dots being on Dollar Tree items are a sign that things are going to go from bad to worse. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Disaster cleanup is often chaotic and complex. After hurricanes or wildfires, a mix of contractors, government officials, and agencies work to clear debris and restore order. A year after Hurricane Helene tore through southern Appalachia, the cleanup is still underway. While everyone agrees the mess needs to be cleared, there's plenty of debate about what should be removed and what might be better untouched. Hurricane Helene left rivers in western North Carolina filled with debris, trees, trash, even cars and houses. But now locals are worried the contractors hired by the Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA are clearing out too much. These companies get paid by how much stuff they remove, so there's an incentive to just clear everything out. The challenge is balancing speed with environmental care. And environmentalists say poor oversight and a push to clear as much as possible are damaging wetlands. Heavy machinery used after the storm caused more harm to streams in the process. While cleanup was needed, the excessive debris removal could leave lasting environmental impacts.
Looking at this creek bed right now in Weaverville, North Carolina, it's about 30 feet wide. Times that by 10, that's about how high and how wide it was after Hurricane Helene. That's why people were so grateful when the Army Corps of Engineers got here.
Oh, they were super duper.
But others worry the process could have unintended consequences.
The debris removal has done more damage than Helene.
Will Harland is the Southeast Director of the Center for Biological Diversity.
We've seen those contractors using the rivers as highways for large machinery, heavy equipment, excavators, dump trucks, driving up and down our beloved creeks and streams.
George Mangus with the Army Corps of Engineers says how they remove debris entirely depends on FEMA and its Environmental Historic Preservation Agency.
For archaeologically significant things, biologically significant, endangered species, if it was high quality habitat, and then they would pass any of those restrictions or guidelines over to USAID for the execution of that project.
One thing people are taking issue with, Harlan says, all 6 of the Army Corps' contractors are paid by the cubic yard of what they remove.
So they end up clear cutting entire sections of stream, cutting down even live trees to fill their dump trucks.
So I would say that they're not incentivized to pick up more than the eligible debris in the waterways. So the way we design those contracts, we put caps on those areas. Additionally, we have USAID's quality assurance representatives.
They were careful. Oh my gosh. And if there was a question, they would get on the phone.
Over in Reams Creek, residents like Tom Lindheimer told us he believes they did more good than harm.
It was taxpayer money well spent.
In some counties like Macon, Polk, and Transylvania, contractors have been accused of removing old wood and live trees without landowner permission. Biologists warn excessive debris removal in rivers can cause unseen damage. Unsupervised cleanup can destroy habitats for aquatic species and remove vital shelter for fish and waterfowl, increasing erosion. Counties such as Henderson County that opted out of federal contracts and chose private contractors experienced fewer environmental issues. This was largely because contractors collaborated with state biologists and were paid by the length of the river cleaned rather than by debris weight.
When you have this amount of debris in a waterway, it restricts flow on a large scale. Other homes can get damaged, farmers' fields can get damaged.
Where it can be a major issue is when it starts accumulating and catching and making large debris piles that can either end up damming the river and causing problems that way, or putting infrastructure at risk, especially bridges.
A lot of this stuff's so big you can't do it by hand. We're minimizing the erosion because we're coming in, we're doing a section, then we're getting out, and we're not running that one route way too much. It's a lot easier to repair a stream bank versus a riverbed. So we try to navigate in between like openings on the riverbank so we're not tearing trees down on the riverbank. And the landowners working with us, the farmers are working with us, is a big help to minimize the eco damage.
In July, the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality awarded $10 million to nonprofit Mountain True to restore local rivers in the next 18 months. The project focuses on improving water quality and making rivers safer for recreation, with around 100 workers stabilizing riverbanks by planting native tree trimmings, a method proven to reduce flooding, damage, and erosion during storms. And it's not just the big funding making a difference. Local volunteers are rolling up their sleeves too. For example, along the Green River in Polk County, people paddle through the river in canoes, picking up everything from small debris to buried appliances. Piece by piece, they're helping to clear the waste, restore the river, and reconnect with the environment they love.
Amino acids play a vital role in maintaining your overall health and well-being. Not enough amino acids and protein daily can result in brain fog, hormone imbalances, digestive issues, cognitive function, lack of energy, lower immunity, decreased muscle strength, and much more. That's why we created our amino acid complex, packed with 21 free-form, easily digestible aminos that skip the breakdown and go straight to work energizing your mind and body. Used by athletes, vegans, and high performers. New Earth's amino acid complex helps your mind and body recover, rebuild, and renew daily. Subscribe now and optimize your life.
Hello, I'm Susan from Sweden.
Wanda Michael from Eastern Uganda, Africa.
Hi, I'm Tim from Vancouver, Canada.
I'm Titeshwar Thamdao from Manipur State, India. I'm Gumba Obasi from Southeast Nigeria.
Arnaito Chakrini from Western Uganda, Mbarara.
At United Network News, you are the news.
My name's Christina, Field Messenger, report first one in the hurricane down here in Southern California from Mexico.
Real people reporting real stories from all around the world. At UNN, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Jason from United Network News. We're going to be doing some aircrete building with new technologies that allow us to live in comfort and also off the grid.
Take the next step in changing the way the world gets the news. Become a UNN field messenger today.
I am Michelle from South Africa, and we are the United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
If it is going to be, then it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
Si va a ser así, depende de mí. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN.
In Fuerteventura, a small farm and vegan restaurant uses living soil and earthworms to nurture its crops, creating seasonal, farm-to-table dishes. UNN Field Messenger Emma takes us there.
Hi, my name is Emma. I'm a field messenger for United Network News, reporting from Fuerteventura, Spain in Europe. This report is going to be about the small farm and restaurant that have mastered the creation of living soil on Fuerteventura. This makes a huge difference in how food is produced and how food tastes. A group of friends and I went to a finca, which is a small farm. In the middle of the farm was a restaurant. This was a very pleasant surprise. This is a highly regarded restaurant that brings a refreshing farm-to-table experience. The name of the place is El Invernadero, which means the greenhouse. The restaurant is committed to sustainability and fresh, locally sourced ingredients. The way they operate the restaurant is also fascinating. They are open Tuesday to Friday, and every week there is a different vegan menu. Almost everything they serve is grown on the farm. Monday, create the menu from what they can harvest that week and what they have in the garden. A detailed menu is then put together and posted on their Instagram page. The week we visited the restaurant, it was a Mexican menu with 5 delicious vegan dishes. The dishes they served were like a piece of art in form and color. It was vegan nachos, salad with fruit, taco de nopales, which is Mexican cactus, vegan chili con carne with rice. Dessert was ice cream from rice, brownies and vanilla. It was delicious. After the wonderful meal, we met the owner of the restaurant, and he gave us a tour around the gardens. He explained how they make compost and living soil. That is why everything grows so big and vibrant. Look at the basil. Basil, look at the size of the leaves. It also increases the taste of everything that grows on the farm. The big secret is earthworms and the quality of the compost they make. Earthworms had to be imported to Fuerteventura. They're not here naturally. They can be hard to keep alive because of the heat, the dry climate, and the sandy soil. The earthworm plays a vital role in keeping the soil healthy. Worms are fantastic burrowing creatures that are living, breathing engineers of soil where the roots of the plants get their energy. They eat and recycle organic matter. The intricate network of tunnels the earthworm creates is extremely important too. They can transform dry and hard soil into healthy, fluffy, airy soil. The earthworms are widely recognized as indicators of soil quality, health, and functions. So we should not take them for granted. We should help them as much as we can. They also had a pond with fish and a pond with rescue turtles. We got to feed the turtles, and they're very interesting creatures. Hope you liked the report. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.
Eco-villages offer practical models for sustainable communities. At Clove Jordan Eco-Village in County Tipperary, UNN Field Messenger Bob learns how it works.
Hi, this is Bob reporting for UNN from Clove Jordan, Ireland, and today I'm interviewing Pa, who runs the hostel for the Clove Jordan Eco Village. Please, can you tell me a little bit about this place?
Well, absolutely. It is a cool place. Yeah. It's an intentional community that has been going for about 25 years. It started off in Dublin. A group who ran the Dublin Food Co-op, the Organic Food Co-op, got together and decided that they would like to build a sustainable community somewhere in the country. They eventually bought the lands here from the local manor house and started to develop our eco-village here. The thing about there's many special things about this particular eco-village, and one of them is that it is an educational charity. So our remit is to demonstrate this sustainable project. We invite colleges to come. We will tailor courses for colleges. We have a lot of expertise here in the eco-village. We see it as really important that people understand the dangers that modern society is creating for itself, particularly the ignoring of climate change, live in nature and to understand nature and to live by nature rather than have nature live for us.
And just for a little ending, I was reading about this cactus over here in the corner. Can you just briefly tell how the cactus?
This cactus is about 85 years old, and it was unfortunately the owner passed away, and there was nobody to look after his cactus except me. So in memory of Duncan, I'm happy to keep this going.
Thank you so much, Paul.
You're welcome.
And good luck and good win for the future for your project. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. So this was Bob, a field messenger for UNN, signing off. And if it's going to be, it's up to me. Thank you.
Every pet deserves a loving home. But sometimes life throws curveballs that make it hard for owners to keep their furry companions. Pet owner surrender rates have been on the rise, highlighting the challenges many face in caring for their pets. It's a tough decision for any pet parent, and understanding the reasons behind it can help us lend a hand and keep those tails wagging. Animal shelters are struggling as rising living costs are forcing more people to surrender their beloved pets. According to the national database of the nonprofit shelter Animals Count, 5.8 million cats and dogs entered U.S. shelters in 2024. And while intakes have slightly decreased from 2023, the numbers remain alarmingly high. The sad truth is, only about half of these sheltered dogs find new homes or are returned to their owners, with more than 300,000 euthanized. The cost of pet care has surged, with veterinary services and grooming up 42% since 2019, and pet food prices increasing by 22%, according to a Bank of America report. Pet insurance is also costly. Similar trends are seen in Europe and Canada, where rising expenses are leading to higher surrender rates and increased demand for pet food banks. The increasing cost of living is undeniably putting a strain on household budgets, making pet ownership increasingly difficult for many.
This year alone, we've already taken in 1,700 animals, of which 800 is owner surrenders. It's a growing number. We're seeing tons of demand for owner surrender in particular, and a lot of really heartbreaking, really emergent situations that families are facing. These are folks that have nowhere to live, let alone with their animals. They can't afford the cost of living. They can't find pet-friendly housing. That is a massive challenge that they can afford. They're being displaced to the street, to their vehicle, just to have a place for shelter with their animals, with or without really. People are struggling with access to care for their animals, and people are even struggling with access to care for themselves. We're getting multiple stories a week of folks in hospital with their pets living in the vehicle with them just to make sure that they're close to family. It's a heartbreaking situation for sure. It's been something we've been experiencing for several years, but I think it's really hitting a bit of a boom, whether that's post-COVID. There's certainly economical challenges that are exacerbating the issue. So while it's not entirely new, the amount of it is really becoming an overwhelming new theme across all animal shelters and animal welfare industry in general. For those folks that have an animal and might be struggling, reach out to us before you're really having to consider surrender. We have so many programs that are designed specifically to help keep animals happy and healthy in the homes that love them. The sooner you reach out, the more that we can prevent that surrender. And to anyone out there who is really moved by this particular issue and might not be facing it on a personal level, there's so many ways in which to help out. Fostering is a huge one. If you happen to work for a clinic, consider signing up and partnering with us for a spay-neuter or a seniors program. The way that we can help is by really rallying our community around the notion that animals are part of the family unit, and we want to preserve that as much as possible. So reach out whether you need help or you're willing to help, and we're happy to have that conversation.
Veterinary costs have increased faster than inflation, making it harder for families to afford pet care. This rise is partly due to big corporations taking over vet clinics. These chains are changing how vet clinics work. While they offer advanced tech and stable finances, it often negatively impacts pet owners and veterinarians. Vets in these corporate places often face pressure to prioritize financial goals over pet well-being. A recent CBC investigation in Toronto, Canada, found some corporate clinics often play a bit of a game with pricing. While exam fees were pretty similar, even within the same company, different locations charged largely different amounts for the same test. They know you'll compare exam fees, but you're less likely to dig into diagnostic costs. This makes it tough to see hidden price hikes and predict how much you'll actually pay.
Today, the majority of the referral clinics in Canada and North America, they're owned by corporations. Nearly 40% of our general practices in the US, they're owned by corporations. Nearly 25% of all general practices in Canada, they're now owned by corporations. In the United States, you have the Mars Company owning over 2,000 veterinary practices. In Canada, you have Vet Strategy, VCA Canada, owning hundreds of clinics across the country. So you have got these corporate giants with international investors. They are quietly buying out the independent local veterinarian. No one is even knowing about it. Often, this takeover occurs, they're not even informing the pet owners. And they're kind of doing it sneakily. For many of these practices, there's still no branding at all, no information that would let you know when you go into that clinic that it's now gone from the local independent veterinarian to big corporate chain. You'll go in and you still think, oh, it's my same old clinic. You know what? No, it's not. Why are prices going up and up and up? I think because they're corporations and they're focused on one thing. The almighty dollar, they're focused on profits.
So what can you do? Ask if your clinic is independent or corporate. Choose local clinics to support your community and prioritize care over profits. Advocate for transparency, pushing for clear ownership disclosure regulations. Ultimately, a little awareness can go a long way in ensuring our furry friends get the care they deserve without breaking the bank.
At UNN, you are the news. Get involved by joining our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Visit unitednetwork.earth to learn more. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me.